What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thanks for joining me in another video. Today I have my wife Aisha with me.
How's it going?
And we are borrowing a 2018 Mercedes-Benz E400 Cabriolet from Atlanta Classic Cars. We just wanted to do a casual driving review and tell you a little bit on how this car feels. Now, we've already done a full-blown technical review on the E400 Cabriolet, so if you haven't seen that video yet, I strongly urge you to be sure to check that one out. So the car we're in today is finished in a cardinal red and features a macchiato beige leather interior with espresso brown accents.
Stop right there. Macchiato, espresso. What am I thinking? Starbucks, of course. This is not sponsored by Starbucks, but we might have to hit one on the way back.
Can we just talk about the car first before we get into that?
You know I'm hungry.
So Isha, now that we've been riding in this car for a few minutes, what are your first impressions?
First impressions is that it is very, very smooth. It's not very loud for a convertible. It's pretty good. I still feel a little bit of bumps and stuff, but you know, it's not as bad as some of the other cars that I've ridden in.
Right.
It's very spacious, I can say that much. I am about 5'4", and I always have a problem with like seeing over the car, so I always have to like, you know, raise the seat and push it up. And however, this offers a great amount of flexibility for someone short like me or anyone tall. So I do like that.
Right.
And the seats are very comfortable.
So there are a couple key factors that went into the design aspects that you mentioned. You mentioned that this car is particularly quiet even though it's a convertible. And the reason being for that is that this car features a 3-layer acoustic soft top. So it's great at sound insulation and thermal insulation.
Okay.
So even though it's a cabriolet, you still get the quiet ride of a coupe. And speaking of the soft top, you can operate the soft top at speeds of up to 31 miles per hour, and it just takes roughly 20 seconds to operate.
So I don't have to physically stop the car to, you know, put down the top or put it up. No, I can do that while I'm in motion.
While you're in motion, you don't have to wait till you get to a stoplight to do that.
Okay.
And be that person who holds up traffic.
Okay.
And you also mentioned that you thought this E-Cab is a bit more spacious than some of the other convertibles that you've been in. Particularly, you're probably referring to an E350 Cabriolet, which you've been in before. So for the E400, Mercedes-Benz extended the wheelbase by 4.4 inches.
Oh, okay.
And not only does that help accommodate with a smooth ride, because the extension of the wheelbase effectively lowers the car's center of gravity. That 4.4 inches in extended wheelbase also translates into an additional 2 inches of rear legroom. So cars like this are often cramped in the back, but if you sit in the back, you'll notice that there's a significant amount of additional legroom when compared to the outgoing E350 Cabriolet. And we actually sat in the back of this car when we did the full-blown technical review. So I thought it was interesting on some of the first aspects you mentioned about this car, Mercedes-Benz specifically sought out to improve upon on the introduction of this model.
I could just tell once from getting in the car that it was larger, like more spacious than what I've been in before.
Right. It's almost like a correctly packaged E400 Cabriolet is a baby S-Class Cabriolet. This car feels extremely nice. The quality of the materials in this car is amazing. I just love the way it feels. I love the way the steering wheel feels in my hand. I love the leather perforations. I'm a huge leather fanatic, and when it's done right, I truly love it. Another feature I love about this car is the fact that the transmission is a lot smoother than it was in the outgoing generation. In this particular car, it's a 9G-tronic transmission. The outgoing generation had a 7-speed automatic, which could be a bit jerky. It felt a little bit clunky. And for a car that's cruising, I just want to feel like I'm wafting, right? I want an exceptionally smooth ride the entire way. And the 7-speed transmission just didn't provide that. And that's another factor that Mercedes-Benz got right when introducing this E400 Cabriolet The non-G-tronic transmission is just smooth, and it's just more versatile as well. And another major change I want to make mention of is the power plant. So this E400 Cabriolet is powered by a 3-liter bi-turbo V6, and your output is 329 horsepower and 354 pound-foot of torque. Pretty much what I'm saying is that this car is exceptionally fast. It doesn't feel underpowered at all. The outgoing E350 Cabriolet was powered by a 3.5-liter V6, which put out 302 horsepower. So even though it had a larger displacement, it didn't put out the same amount of power that this E400 Cabriolet is putting out. So your 0 to 60 in this car is 5.5 seconds, which is fast enough for anybody who's going to be driving this car throughout town.
Right, right.
After driving this car for a few miles, I noticed that the seats are exceptionally comfortable. You could go on...
It has side bolstering.
You could go on a really long road trip in this car and feel great. I love how the seats are soft but firm at the same time. Like Aisha mentioned, it does have side bolstering if you want to take corners a little bit faster than normal. The seats also feature 3 levels of heating and 3 levels of cooling as well. And since this is a convertible, they also feature the Mercedes-Benz air scarf system, which blows warm air around your neck. And that pretty much allows you to enjoy the car with the top down during cooler times of the year.
One thing I specifically look for now, like as far as a vehicle, is the amount of space that's in it. Preferably if you are road tripping. However, my commute to work is pretty lengthy, and so my legs can sometimes get, like my knees will tend to hurt or things like that. I can definitely say in this car, your legs will not be hurting.
You're able to stretch out a little bit.
You can stretch out,
right? If
that makes sense. So,
this car is also loaded with a lot of tech, typical of Mercedes-Benz. For example, there's a 12.3-inch display screen in the dash, which just provides a nice, bright, and vibrant display for your navigation and infotainment system. So there's no squinting or really having to focus by taking your eyes off the road to get done with whatever you need to access the car's different features, owner's manual, so on and so forth. So everything is right there and it's easy to use. Now, if you opt for the P3 package, you'll get a dual 12.3-inch display screen setup. That looks completely epic. It's so futuristic. If you're getting this car, I strongly urge you to go with the P3 package.
I feel like this is enough right here. I've seen the P3 package. It looks great. I just feel as if sometimes when it gets to so many screens or they're so huge, it's just overdone. I need the size that's here is good. I can see it. I don't have to like squint or like look hard and not be focused on the road. That's the main objective. I feel like this is good.
So you're satisfied with this right here?
I am. I mean, if you're an AMG,
I'm a tech guy. Give me all the features.
Right,
I want all the tech. Throw the book at my car.
You can.
I need all of it.
As long as I can get my macchiato, I'll be okay.
Now, one particular feature I love about the E-Class are the buttons that they've incorporated on the steering wheel. They're more like touchpads, and you can just cycle your thumb across the steering wheel, and it will allow you to cycle through various menus on the infotainment system. And this feature was first seen on the E300 sedan, which was introduced here in the US about a year and a half ago, I want to say. And it really just makes cycling through the car's different features extremely easy.
So does this car have some of the other features in the other cars that we've have rode in, as far as like the park assist?
Right. 360-degree camera system.
Yeah.
That comes with the P3 package.
It has all that.
Yeah.
So why would I need this P3 package?
Well, with the P3 package, you get the 360-degree camera system. So when you're backing out of a tight parking space, it pretty much allows you to have a bird's eye view of the car on this 12.3-inch display system.
2 of them, right?
Yes, you'll get dual 12.3-inch display systems. But yeah, that bird's eye view, it's so cool just to be able to make sure that you're backing out of that parking space safely. So for me, that's a must. I don't like feeling like I'm in a tight space, and if somebody parks like right up on you, which is likely to happen in Atlanta,
yes,
you'll have a full visual of your situation when you're backing out of that parking space. So yes, that's why I would go for the P3 package. Now that I've said that, are you still okay with the P2 package, or would you want to upgrade? And it's okay if you want to upgrade. We're waiting. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I would be okay with the P2. If I could upgrade, it's totally fine. It wouldn't make or break the deal for me. It's
Okay.
just me.
Yeah, see, this car has quite a bit of pull to it for what it is. And when you're accelerating, it's a smooth acceleration. That's that 9G-tronic transmission I was telling you about.
That was not jerky at all.
Yeah, it's
Like,
extremely smooth.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think you're talking about some of those sports cars we've driven before.
Yeah.
So overall, the E-Class Cabriolet is a nice cruiser that you could get around town in. The price point is not insane or through the roof like a car like the S-Class Cabriolet or something like a Bentley GT Convertible. This is something that's achievable. The ride is exceptionally smooth. Isha, what are your closing thoughts?
I really like the car. I love the color. I love the specs on the inside. The color variation's great. The leather is very soft. I'm not a huge leather person as far as like certain things inside a car. Yes, this leather looks very exceptional and it is very soft. It's not harsh. I feel like this car could be for a man or a woman instead of some cars just look very masculine or very feminine. I feel like this one's a good in between, as well as what it has to offer as far as the speed, as far as like I said, the specs. I feel like it's a good dual car for a man or a woman. We're going to drop this top too. I definitely want to see that in motion.
All right, now it's a little chilly out here.
I know, I don't like to be cold, but I'm really, really, interested in seeing this go down with this.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, but overall, I'm liking the space. I would get this car. I definitely would.
So we're going to end the video here. I would like to give you guys a special thanks for joining Isha and I during this driving review of this E400 Cabriolet. I think we should just go ahead and drop the top since this is a convertible. As you can see, it's operating just fine while we're moving. That is something you couldn't do in previous generation Mercedes-Benz. It's a little cooler today. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'd like to give my friend Jessie Cannon-Wallace a special shout out for making this possible. If you're interested in obtaining a Mercedes-Benz, any model, please be sure to reach out to her, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
I guess we're heading to Starbucks, huh?
Yes. I'm gonna need it now.